am Trey Rentz, and this is my friend
Joseph Coatney.
And this is a show. This is a show. Did you know
It's
that?
not unlike a show.
Now, let me ask you, Rennie and Doc, whatever. You're here. You know what it's written on the thing. You know what the thing is. Here's the thing. I have a question for you because I don't know the answer to this. Today, I looked at the YouTube analytics.
Okay.
And we've made jokes often
Yeah.
about our lack of views on the main show, right? I looked today, and lo and behold, to my amusement and to my bewilderment,
Yes.
if I could say, 35 views on the main show. Now, you tell me why that is, because
What does it usually get?
10, 6,
Wow.
why?
I don't know. I don't even remember what we talked about.
We talked about Trump. Maybe that was okay.
Might have
So,
shoved us up there a little bit.
but now I am admittedly very lazy when it comes to, because I know that most people don't care about the main show. We get a lot of views for the shorts. Not this week, but typically we do. I know that most people don't want to sit and watch us for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is
I wouldn't
odd.
either.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Or maybe I would. I don't know. It's interesting. But when I look back, I think that maybe, I sent you a text message after I made that image. I didn't make the image. I generated it through AI.
Yeah.
So maybe that does play into the piece.
Could be.
I kind of like it too. It's a giant bullet. It's funny. Like he's all like it's not. And I told you, and I really wish. I don't know why. I'm very good with words, right?
Yeah.
I was very precise in my. I don't know what you call it. Putting into the prompt of the AI generator of the images. I wanted so badly for Trump to be like Neo in the Matrix, like dodging bullets, because that was the funny the joke is that he didn't get shot.
Yeah.
And it would be funny if he was like Neo in the Matrix and dodging bullets, like you said, bullet time. At the same time, I also tried to get him to stop the bullets, like on the ending of the first Matrix. Couldn't get anything to do that. All it did would have Trump holding a gun. Now tell me why that is.
That's how you stop other bullets, Jay, with
true.
your bullets.
If you get shot at, you shoot, and you shoot the bullets, and you're a very good shot, so you stop the bullets. It's like, it's a movie. But no, I really want it to be that way, and I'm not. It's not that it's a bad image, but
It's not what you wanted.
it's not what I wanted. But at the same time, I would call that triple the amount of views. If we
That's
usually
wild.
get 6, I watched every episode. I watch at least some because I want to test it, make sure it's correct.
Yeah.
Because a lot of failure rate in things that you post.
True.
I've learned that over the years on music and whatever. It is crazy though. Now, at the same time, which I thank the people, I love the people that watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if we even talked about it, but we have 104 subscribers.
That's wild.
That's crazy to me
It is.
because I am an idiot.
As am I.
You think you're an idiot.
Yeah.
We both think we're idiots, and we just talk.
Yeah.
And it's odd to me that anybody would go, I would like to hear what they say.
Yeah.
Because when I talk, I go, why would anybody want to hear
Yeah.
anything that I say? Because, maybe it's a self-esteem. Herbertschut?
Your speaking ability?
Yeah. Maybe it's a self-esteem issue, and I fully grasp that. But it's interesting. Anyways, I am thankful to all those people because, Joe, we did a podcast before.
Yeah.
And I got a thing that I want to show you here.
Uh-oh.
But we did a podcast before. We didn't get jack squat.
No.
It was fun, It's not that it wasn't fun, not all the time, but it was mostly fun. And I don't even know, but it never even came close to 100. Joe, that's unimaginable to me. Even now,
I don't keep track of that stuff, so I don't know.
Well, damn you. So,
well, you're running the show. I just show up at your house.
I run it. And far be it from me to not breach the issue that neither one of us want to be here currently. Now, it's not fair to say that because I live here. So I actually do want to be here.
You don't want to be right here.
I just don't want to be here in the seat because we both worked. We both want to just go home. Now, I'm already home, but I want to just sit around and eat pizza.
Yeah.
And I assume you want to sit around and do whatever you do at your home. I don't even want to dive into whatever you do. It's your own. It's your domicile. You keep your private things to yourself here. But I'm rambling. But this is a podcast, so
yeah, it's just a bunch of talk.
I did want to, because I don't know who's watching.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. But I did want to revisit a thing that I think you did a very fantastic job of. This was years ago.
Okay.
And I loved it ever since you did it because we grew up similar in a lot of ways with trailers to movies like suspense or action or whatever. You did a trailer on our old podcast with Caleb.
It was complete nonsense.
God rest his soul. No, he's not dead. But I think we should revisit. This is from Talking the Talk.
Our old podcast.
This is the last episode we did, but you did a trailer at the beginning of the episode. And I think we should watch that because I thought, I don't know what to talk about today, but it popped in my head. And I think that people would and I want to see it too myself because it was very good. All right, here we go. Talking the Talk. The apocalypse.
I'm telling you, I need to get through the prison. There's a bomb! A bomb! There's no code. Trey.
You did all this. I didn't do anything. I mean, I acted in it because I'm an actor. See.
There's nothing worse. If we don't get there soon, Trey may be dead or worse.
Hey, hey.
Joe, I'm dead.
Okay. With the coke. Because of the coke.
This was your idea, though.
It was. I think it makes it. We're back. It really is a pretty good.
For being shot on iPhone 4.
Is it iPhone 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Does it say how long ago? Stop! You sons of masters.
Yeah, and your buddy wrote the theme song, right?
Yeah, my friend Bobby Bucket.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. He was a good boy, and I loved him.
I forgot he died.
Yeah, I think it was a plane. It's a plane crash. I'm Chinese, so
a praying crash.
Yeah, he prays real hard, but it wasn't enough to not to not die in a plane crash. All right, how long ago was this? 10 years
ago.
Wow.
Wow.
You know,
I was like 30.
it's funny. Age has come up recently in my life, which I don't really think about age very much. But 10 years ago, I must have been 28.
I was probably
20, you're not very much older.
29.
Yeah.
30.
I have to give it. I can't talk. I hate myself and whatever. I have to give it to us
Yeah.
because something about ambition, which I think we both have.
Yeah.
I don't know why we do. But
I like the Orson Welles quote when they asked him how did he pull off all these things that people thought were impossible, and he said sheer ignorance that it shouldn't be able to be done.
I like that. Because if you have the ignorance, you don't know what you can't do.
Yeah.
So you try things. We tried a thing. I think it was your idea. I don't think it was my idea at all to do that trailer.
It was my idea.
Was it? Yeah.
Because I was like, when we were kids, I always loved those shows that would come on in like on the weekends or something at
Yeah.
night, late at night, and they would always do the previously on
Right.
or next week.
Right. That was big.
It was.
I remember very clearly Highlander with the guy with McLeod, Duncan McLeod, I think.
Yeah.
And there was an Hercules
Yep.
was in the same block. Xena, Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
They were all in the same block, and they did a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And they would play that. I remember that very, very clearly. But I do like that.
I like that, and I like the old school, like the X-Files always did, where you have the opening scene until it gets to a great discovery of what the episode's going to be, and then the credits play. I love that.
Oh, it's like a preamble.
Yeah.
Seinfeld did that a lot too. Like they would do, especially in the later seasons, they would do like this big, like something that pops in my head is the Summer of George. Like,
Yeah.
He said, I got fired from the Yankees, but they're giving me like a 3-month pay without work. And he's like, this is going to be the Summer of George. And then after that was when they go, oh, that's Seinfeld. Yeah. I like that. I don't know. When you look back on the show,
Yeah.
you can obviously tell there's a vast difference between the quality. Now
Yeah.
we're talking about, we used to film on iPhone 4s,
Yeah.
and now everything's a little bit better. When you look back on this kind of thing, do you go, I wish I haven't done that, or do you go, I'm glad I did this, I tried it?
I think I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad we did it. It was fun, and it got a little bit of that I want to make a movie out of my system. It's silly.
Yeah. Very silly.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of
proud
of the mustache episode because
that was a good one. That was the pucker. If people want to look at that up, it was called the pucker.
I don't remember
think.
whose idea it was to do the mustaches, but I remember it was my idea to film out of chronological order the shaving of.
It was backwards, right?
Yeah.
Very smart.
We end up with beards at the end.
Right. Very smart. And I don't know. What do you think caused that? Because that's not a normal thought.
I love continuity errors in movies. Like, it's funny to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was what fueled that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was that show that you made us watch? The Doctor Show.
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Okay.
Yes, I love that in that show.
I think that had a lot of that kind of
It
stuff
did.
in it. Very interesting, and I think it's very funny. I'm with you on that.
One of my favorite shots, his boss is holding a shovel because they're getting ready to go shovel up some grotesqueness. I don't know how far you watched it, but
I don't remember.
He's holding the shovel. It keeps cutting back and forth,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to the main guy, cuts back to him, and he's mad at him, and he's suddenly holding a styrofoam cup and not the shovel, and he goes and crushes it.
I do. I like that humor, but and you tell me because I'm not quite sure. The only reason I know about the show is because you told me about it. Was that show like? Did anybody watch that show? Did it play on actual like the BBC or whatever?
It was on
I know
Channel
it's
4,
English.
I believe, and then it only made. It was going to be a longer series, but they only made one series, and it got canceled.
So you tell me this. I command you.
Okay.
Do we have oddball senses of humor in comparison to the vast, like the popular culture?
Yes.
Is it just odd? Because if that didn't do well, that show was funny to me.
It was hilarious. I've watched it like 4 times.
And how about this? When I talk to people about Monty Python,
Yeah.
they are the same way. They're like, I don't get it. Something like British humor, people don't seem
and like
to grasp.
Dark Place doesn't have a laugh track or anything. There's not jokes per se. It's kind of like
Sight gags.
yeah.
And
it's got misspeaking of known phrases. Just silliness that you don't. I don't think most people will catch. I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. It's been a while.
If because I I have read. We both like Seinfeld very much.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite show of all time, or at least my favorite comedy. I think at the time, at least in the early, maybe the second season before it got really popular, I believe I remember somebody saying that the critics said it's not maybe too. I don't know if they would say too smart, but it was like Seinfeld always assumed that their audience was smart and that they would get the joke and they didn't have to break it down to this thing. Like you would get like one of my favorite things is the way they describe things, and I think this is best described in that scene in the Chinese restaurant where George is describing having to take a crap. But he never says crap, dookie, poo-poo, or he didn't. No, he said, I had an intestinal requirement.
And I begin to perceive this impending intestinal requirement whose needs are going to surpass by great lengths anything in the sexual realm.
Yeah.
But that whole soliloquy or monologue or whatever you want to call it encapsulates what I think is funny is that you don't spell out the simple joke. You let the audience understand through their own intelligence.
Why is that funnier, though? It is funnier.
I don't know why. Maybe because there's something about you realizing something in the moment for yourself that it wasn't told to you. Like you go,
okay. I could see
so
that.
you're going through your own works in your head, but you're getting the joke, and it's not like here's the joke.
Yeah.
It's like here's half the joke. You get it, and they go, and when you go, oh, that's the funny part. Is realizing the thing. It takes a little bit of thought, which I appreciate. I think that's why I like that so much, and I like the Curb.
Yeah.
Your Enthusiasm, and British humor is very much like that. Like it's not handing you on a silver platter. Here's the joke. Here's the punchline. It's like you figure it out.
Yeah.
And if your brain is working good,
and it's I like absurdist humor. Did we do this a bit already?
I
like
think
absurdist,
so.
and I like
this is the 25th
witty
episode.
humor,
I have no idea
and
what we talked about.
I like, which Monty Python does this a lot, where they slip in a nonsense thing inside of a normal sentence, and they just keep moving on like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And the character doesn't react to me saying it. It just, the skit keeps moving. And you just so fast that you go, wait a minute.
Well, I think that's very important in comedy. One of the reasons why The Naked Gun and why Leslie Nielsen was so funny is because he was a straight actor, and all the absurdities that were going on around him. When the firework place is blowing up and there's just all in the background, he said, "Nothing to see here." He's a straight man. He doesn't care. He doesn't notice. He's just an actor.
Yeah.
And the absurdity is happening around him.
One of my favorite
That's
scenes
the funny thing.
is when he's bribing that guy for information, and they keep
spot me at 20.
they keep bribing each other with the same money.
I think I mean, we could dissect humor. And the funny thing about humor and comedy is that it's so subjective.
It is. Because stuff that I think is like gut busting hilarious. My wife goes, I don't get this.
Right.
And the stuff that she watches, like Friends, I don't like that show.
See, I could go both ways. Maybe I'm a more accepting of the comedy boys. I like the stuff that you send. I can appreciate Friends.
Yeah. See, with this, I don't think there's much I don't send you. There's the weirder side of my comedy. I don't think I've ever sent.
Surely you have. Surely. Joe, we've been friends for 20-something years. Surely you have sent me something.
Guy that I follow. He's just now getting a show on Cartoon Network, but he used to make these shorts, and they were so drawn out, and like the awkwardness is what is just heavy. just heavy. The first one I ever saw, I'm not claiming that I was one of his first fans because I know he'd already been around for a while before I found him. There's this guy, and he has, like, you know those people that make those little train sets, like the enthusiast guys that make it little mountains and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Skit starts out, there's this older guy working on one of those, and he's holding a little toy box of plastic jewels.
Yeah.
And he's looking at this manual.
Jewels.
Yeah, little plastic jewels. And he's looking at this manual, and it has a little guy on it, and it says that it's the guy's name, and it says, really enjoys shiny objects such as jewels. And then he bends down real close, and he gets the jewels, and there's a little house in the train track. And he starts saying the guy's name. Let's see, it's Tom. I don't remember his name. He's like, hey, Tom, why don't you come out here? I got some jewels.
Oh,
and he
boy.
goes like this, and he like peeks out the window, and he goes, no, just lay him down. And he gets back there, and it's just drug out. Just absolute nonsense, and I love it.
Well, I can't tell. You should send me that thing so I could watch it.
Okay.
See. Anyways, let's watch like 2 videos.
Okay.
Because we've talked about comedy this whole time. But like we know what the hell comedy. All we know is what we do, and we boys, old boy. And now hello. Boy, 2, 3.
Why not?
I don't remember where we started. All right. Welcome to video number 1 and go. How do you say that word? Bacteriophage? Under a microscope attacking E. coli. Oh. It does look like a robot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen this, yeah.
I don't need to hear this music. So, I think the reason why I sent this is because we talk about biological life or agents or whatever, and maybe they're more like, I don't know, it bleeds into like things that we create out of metal and whatever, and we're really seeing this is a biological agent.
Yeah.
That looks like a freaking robot, like
does.
something that you would see in a TV show or like a movie or something like that.
It does.
So what do you think? Is it the chicken or the egg? Like, did we see this and go, let's make something like this? Look at that.
I think
Tell me that doesn't look like it's made from like silicone or...
I think it's just that it's so small that couldn't be any other way, almost. That's what I think.
Like it's exactly only what it needs to be to work.
Probably.
Okay. That makes sense. It's just so odd, though.
But
because
what
obviously...
do I know? I'm just a dude.
Well, we're not scientists anymore.
No.
We gave that up. It's too hard of a life to be a scientist.
Stress.
It's interesting, though.
And I have trust issues.
Do you? I don't even know what that means.
Trust the science. You always have to trust
That's true. You got to trust the science. Everybody, believe it. Trust the science. Put your mask on. Shut up. All right. Here's the next one. What is this? Is this a volume thing? Okay. Car on fire.
Oh,
all
boy.
right. Well, just
NASA.
Well, you don't want that thing.
I'd hate to be on the end of that.
Wow! How high? How did he do that? Did he drop it on the
It looked like
nozzle?
he dropped
or-
it on the nozzle.
Okay.
He probably broke the nozzle off. That's hilarious. I never would have thought one would fly that high. But
Let's see. Hold on. Yep. How perfect did that have to fall right on the thing?
now he doesn't have a fire extinguisher.
Well, one could argue that the car was unsavable,
Yeah.
even at that point. That what are you gonna do? You gonna put it out? Fine.
You still want to get the fire out.
That is funny. Do you ever see that video? There was a video a while back where a guy did something with a pot, like a soda bottle, like a Coke bottle, like a 2-liter, and he did something, and it literally blew up. Like he was trying to blow it up, but he dropped it or something. I can't remember what it was, and it spewed, and it hit him right in the face, like from
know.
20 feet away.
Yeah.
It was a very funny video. Imagine if I could have it here, but I don't know how to look that up. And
I've
then-
been terrified. I've been
You're
terrified
frying terror
of
in the skillet.
pressurized containers since I was a kid because I used to. My dad had a welding machine that had, or cutting torch that had these tanks that are like this tall.
Yeah.
And there's two on a two-wheeled thing, and he would have me wheel it around the shop.
How big?
Well, I'm
Big? Like
probably like
4
that.
foot?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're probably like that big around. And when I was a kid, he said he would make me move it over to where he's wanting to work.
right.
And he said, don't drop those because
Well,
I've seen people die from those caps coming off and those shooting across a workshop. So ever since then, terrified of pressurized containers.
how old do you think you were at the time?
Single digits, I don't know.
Single digits. It is funny how that kind of stuff sticks with you. Like, I remember I don't know if this is too much information or whatever. I'm going to say it anyways because I don't care. I remember when I was a kid, and I was single digits too, but my dad told me one time, if you sat too long on the toilet, I can't remember if he said you get hemorrhoids or your guts would fall out of your body. And I remember not taking a dump for like 4 days because I didn't want that to happen. I thought, I don't want to die sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, who would?
And I woke up in the middle of the night, dropped a deuce, and everything was fine.
Yeah.
But it's funny what you remember in your life.
No, I'm still scared of airing up tires because one time my dad, I don't remember
blow
why, he blew up my bike tire on purpose. I don't remember if he was doing it to be a joke,
probably
to
a
scare
prove a
me.
point or something.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to do it.
Right.
Startled me.
Or he didn't
And
want you to
still
ride
this
your
day,
bike.
I'm like putting air in my tires. I'm like,
But no, that's a pretty good fear though, and they can blow up.
yeah,
And that's not bad. It's those little things in life where I assumed that he was trying to prove a point,
he
and
probably
I think
was.
my dad did the same thing on certain things. I can't remember what they exactly were, but like, obviously, don't sit too long on the toilet because your guts will fall out of your body. Joe, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
It's well known. Let's do one more, and for God's sakes, let's just be done.
Okay.
Oh, this is a toilet. I have no idea what's going on here. Oh! Hey! PP water, Joe. Why? What is this? All right.
That is hilarious.
I think this man got what he deserved
I agree.
because he shouldn't have done that.
I wholeheartedly agree. That was like Duke to
Now, how does that even happen? Because the pressure. Hold on. Let's dissect this. The pressure's going down. Mm-hmm. Why then would the water spew outward?
Because the water's coming down with quite a bit of force to fill the bowl and flush it out. And then he clogged it with what I assume is a beer can.
It could have been of like a Red Bull type thing. Yeah. I think that fulfills my like need to see comeuppance.
Yeah.
Which is why I like when thieves get thwarted.
Yeah.
Or a guy like there was one video we watched where a bike rider slapped the mirror and then he ran into a car. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're dumbos because I think there's a lack of this in real life, that we see a lot of dumb people do dumb things and nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
So seeing these things where it bites them in the butthole from what they did. They chose to do a thing and it bites them. I like seeing that in
I think one of my
videos.
favorite ones I've seen recently, and I don't remember if you shared it with me or vice versa, but there's a guy yelling at a clerk at a gas station, and the guy right behind him, minding his own business, standing there, he accidentally drops his canned drink, and the guy that was yelling tries
I've
to
seen
kick
that.
it, and the guy smashes it across his face.
Well, here's the problem with this. I've seen that video. I don't know if I sent it to you. I probably did not, but I've seen that multiple times.
Yeah.
The problem with that video, that if you rewatch it, and maybe I could put it here as we're talking, but the guy that is holding, I think it's a twisted tea. It's an alcoholic beverage. It's actually kind of tasty. It's like sweet tea. It's like a brisk, but it's alcoholic. Anyways, the guy that's holding this is already amped up
Yeah.
to hit the guy. And it's only when he drops it that he actually acts, but you can tell like he's
Yeah.
not happy with this guy because the guy is yelling at the clerk, but he's like, ugh. So I like that the guy got his comeuppance, the guy that
Yeah.
was yelling, but at the same time, the guy that was holding the tea, he's probably a douchebag too.
Probably.
I mean, I'm just saying. Nevertheless, that's the show, Joe.
That's the end.
This is the show.
The end.
This is called Rennie and Doc, and my daughter, when I was talking to her earlier today, and I said we're going to record the show, she said, "Don't forget to say like and subscribe." At the end of the show. So
right.
she watches a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's funny because one other thing that she said, which I think is a complete lie, but it was very cute when she said it, and it caught me off guard because it's not something you hear from an 8-year-old kid. She said, "I really like to watch your content." I thought, okay, that's an interesting. I laughed, Joe. I laughed, and I wrote it in my diary. I said I laughed when she said this. Anyways, thank you for watching this show. This is a show. Continue to watch the show and watch all the other shows. Like and subscribe, like my daughter said. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of Rennie and Doc.